In Malta, Nature Trust Malta has done a great job on saving, curing and releasing turtles back into the wild. And today, Vincent Tattard, who is the Executive President of Nature Trust Malta, is going to tell me all about what they do.
Right. Now, since we started way back in 1995, we've reached over 300 turtles that have been saved. Not all made it, but most of them have made it. Over 235 have been released back to the wild. Today, we are tagging nearly all turtles, so in the last 5 years, turtles are being tagged regularly. And we are also putting microchips now to collect data. And the idea now is that we are starting to also track them by satellite tracking for study purposes. Yes, injuries vary a lot. Lately we have been seeing a lot of injuries related to marine debris. Entanglement, for example, which cause damage to flippers, some of which are losing the flipper because of the high entanglement. Others are ingesting plastics, for example, which is another big problem. We had cases where even turtles were found with plastic bags having stainless steel bolts. And we have had other type of injuries such as boat hits, the shell. And also we have had bycatch where turtles are found with hooks in the stomach or lines inside them. And also sometimes we have turtles that, due to these injuries, have developed complications like infections, so they would come to us with lung infections or other infections in the body like intestines, which require a long-term rehabilitation for them to cure. They vary from species. Now, turtles, it is true that turtles eat jellyfish, however, they eat other marine organisms like fish, they eat shrimps, they eat squids, anything that they find which they tend to like. They tend to eat mostly everything. The one that eats most jellyfish is the leatherback turtle, which is the biggest turtle. It's ironic. But it has a taste for jellyfish more than the others. The others, like the loggerheads, tend to eat jellyfish when they are younger in age, but as they grow older, they tend to eat even other crustaceans, for example. This is why they have this very strong beak to open up shells and other animals they wish to feed on. Well, adult turtles' main predators would be mainly sharks. Sharks tend to attack turtles. We often encounter also turtles, although very rare, with shark bites. However, the younger face bigger challenges. The young turtles, when they hatch exactly, are faced with animals on the beach like rats, or in some places even foxes. They have seagulls who would be waiting for them to take them. In the waters, there are other fish that feed on the small turtles. They would be very soft, so they attract a lot of bigger fish to feed on them. But mostly, the biggest problem is man with its impact on the marine environment, which is disturbing the beach, disturbing the habitat. And over the years, we saw a big decline on the turtle population, and now the turtles are on the red data book, which is an endangered species. If you were to see the loggerheads and the leatherback, they tend to nest from 80 to 200 in every nest. A turtle can nest 3 times in summer, in the 3 different times. And from these 80 to 200, only 1 or 2 will make it to maturity where they can start reproducing. So they face a lot of challenges, and you can appreciate that from every nest, only maybe 1 adult will be mature enough to breed. They are reptiles, so obviously they are cold-blooded, which means that their body temperature is the temperature of the sea. This is why turtles migrate. In winter, for example, in the Mediterranean region, they tend to go south and then north again in summer. Sometimes they even go out into the ocean for warmer waters. A turtle becomes mature enough to start breeding at the age of 25, so it's a long process. And the female, while the female comes up to nest during summer, and the male never goes on land again, so the male remains always at sea. Turtles, as you know, are affected also by climate change. So what we have been noting lately is that, as you know, eggs that are in the bottom of the nest tend to be born as males because there is a lower temperature under the sand, and those on top are born female. Now, because of the increase in temperature weathers, we have been noting that more females are being born now, and less males are being born, which means that if this trend keeps up, we're facing another challenge. That is that there will be less males to fertilize the eggs, and this could also spell the extinction of the turtles themselves. Furthermore, because of turtles and their structure, they tend to swallow everything whole, and they have a system in their digestive pipe leading to the stomach, which repels water. It is very difficult sometimes to even force feed turtles, especially if you're trying to give them medication which is liquid. So it is another big challenge, and rehabilitation offers a lot of challenges in turtles. However, they are hardy animals. If they are saved in time, one can manage to save turtles as well.